Kafari. At midfield, number 12, Evans Omani Chima. At midfield, number 16, Anthony Grant. At midfield, number 10, Shoddy Harb. And at forward, number 24, O'Dane Sinclair. Your starters for both the Rapids and FC Tucson. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to recognize our walkout teams tonight. They will be from Vale Soccer Club and Tancaverde Soccer Club's 05 girls. Our ball kids this evening are also from Vale Soccer Club. We thank them for their efforts tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if I could have you all please stand and remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, being performed tonight by the Ventana Vista Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Ventana Vista Choir. Well done, boys and girls. Thank you. Again, we'd like to thank our walkout teams tonight. That was Vail Soccer Club and Tanca Verde Soccer Club's 05 girls. And our ball kids will be from Vail Soccer Club. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Keno North Stadium ahead of match day 3 of the 2015 Desert Diamond Cup. We've got 3 more matches for you tonight, after which we'll know the final round of games to be played this coming Saturday, 5th, 6th, 3rd against 4th, and 1st against 2nd. Well, the first game we have for you tonight on MLSsoccer.com is the Colorado Rapids against the host team FC Tucson. The Rapids have tied both previous games to date against Sporting KC and New England Revolution. FC Tucson, on the other hand, lost to Seattle 6-0 and Real Salt Lake by 3-1. Well, I'll run through the two sides for you, starting with the Colorado Rapids. In goal, Zach McMartha. Back 4 of James Riley, Bobby Burling, Jared Watson, Mark Birch. The holding pair in midfield, Sam Cronin and Nick LaBrocca. The midfield 3 across the middle, Marlon Hairston, Dylan Powers and Juan Ramirez. Deshaun Brown is the man up top. FC Tucson, a 4-2-3-1 as well. Keegan Rogers in goal. The back 4 are Drillan Berisha, Sebastian Pineda, Jason Gaylord and Edgar Reyna. Michael Kafari and Derek Boggs are the holding midfield pair. Then you have Shadi Harb, Evans, Amani Chima and Anthony Grant, and up top the sole striker O'Dane Sinclair. The Rapids will be kicking from right to left in this first 45 minutes. On a win and results elsewhere, we could have a situation where the Rapids take on Real Salt Lake for the championship game on Saturday. Plenty of twists and turns between then and now, or now and then. The Rapids get set to get us underway wearing burgundy jerseys, white shorts and burgundy socks. They're kicking with the sunshine behind them. And we get underway. Sam Cronin to Ramirez. Mark Birch on this near side. Letting things settle down. Joined in the commentary box by Rapids goalkeeper Clint Owen. Not part of the action tonight, Clint. With one game to go this coming Saturday, in terms of momentum, and let's be completely honest here, as Deshaun Brown looks to bear down on goal. This is arguably the weaker of the 4 games that the Rapids will play, unless, of course, they play FC Tucson again on Saturday. So with that in mind, a potentially tougher game at the weekend, and then the opening game of the regular season, what's the side looking to get out of tonight?
Well, certainly you're looking to get a win. With our results in this preseason, we haven't got that win yet, and coming off of last season where wins were a tough commodity to come by. You're looking to get that win, like you said, positive momentum going into the last game of the season. And at the same time, guys are still fighting for the starting spot. A lot of guys here are shifting the squad, seeing what combinations work the best, but we're still competing, still another week to go in preseason, and another week before the first game of the season in Philadelphia, so still a lot to play for.
Jared Watts in possession. He's alongside Bobby Burling this evening. Those that weren't up to speed on the news from earlier today, it was confirmed, as this is a breakaway down the left-hand side. Grant, who is offside, in fact, offside given, a little too eager, having to wander back. Shane O'Neill has gone home. He's headed home with flu-like symptoms. He did come in the game against Sporting Kansas City a week ago. Came on as a second half substitute, didn't last long, came out still not feeling 100%, and then was due to play in the game last Saturday against New England Revolution, but again was not fully firing on all cylinders, so he was pulled from the starting lineup, and he has since gone back to Denver. So we wish Shane a speedy recovery and hope that he's back and fighting fit very, very soon. And an attempt by Ramirez applies the pressure and wins the throw for the Rapids on this near side. Quickly taken by Birch to Ramirez, back to Mark Birch, the number 4. Caught in possession there. He's going to battle to win that one back, though. Draws the foul. In fact, there's Shadi Harb. That game at the weekend, these have been perfect conditions. We know that people are not too keen on me mentioning the weather back home in Colorado. That weather is looking to creep into the weekend. The idea of maybe the preparations taking a bit of a, I wouldn't say a backward step, but the idea of playing indoors, training indoors ahead of that first game of the season is not, as we just break, LaBrocca hooking that one clear. You've been playing on grass, training on grass, possibly back to Colorado and going to train indoors on turf. How difficult a transition could that be?
Well, it's just something you have to deal with in the climate that we live in. Ideally, you'd like to be on grass leading up to that game, especially with Philadelphia being a grass field, but we all understand how crazy the weather can be in Colorado, and you can't really plan for it. And it could be 70 degrees one day, and then, like I think it is tomorrow, just heavy snow. So do the best we can to prepare for it. Ultimately, you got to train hard and get yourself ready.
MLSsoccer.com and ColoradoRapids.com bring you live coverage from the 2015 Desert Diamond Cup. Colorado Rapids against FC Tucson. No score so far. 4 minutes in. 2 more games this evening. One will be kicking off in around 25 minutes. That's the Sounders against the Revolution on Keno North Grandstand. You can find that elsewhere on MLSsoccer.com. And then the late game here at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. local time. Sporting Kansas City against Real Salt Lake, RSL with 2 games, 2 wins. Sporting Kansas City with 1 win and 1 tie. That tie against the Rapids. Ramirez, the white jerseys in front of him, flicks through. Keegan Rogers will gather, suited up in all blue. Looking at the roster for FC Tucson. And there's seems to be more names on the bench than there are out on the field. So I'm really hoping there's not a huge sudden change of them all flooding out and all flooding in again. Birch wins that one in the air. LaBrocca giving chase. Ramirez finding some space with Cronin. Hairston playing in the right midfield position tonight. Played it right back at the weekend. Deshaun Brown slicing the ball between LaBrocca and Jared Watts. Been perfect timing though. You look at San Diego, Las Vegas, FC Tucson? You've been here in perfect soccer conditions. How important has that been, bearing in mind last year, as Deshaun Brown's going to try and use his speed here, and the covering defender has taken a bit of a clattering and has gone to ground there, picking himself up, Edgar Reyna. How important has that been, bearing in mind last season, a little stop-start, the weather wasn't ideal. This year it seems to have just all fallen nicely for the Rapids.
It's been great. I think it's a testament to the planning that the staff has gone through leading up to this season and front office and making it all work. And we've been extremely fortunate to have some great events. I think San Diego was great just to be with the team. Good weather, great training facility at the Olympic Center, and then coming here, this is, I believe, our third year in Tucson, and you get good competition, great places to stay, good weather. I think it's really a win-win for everybody involved.
Talk us through that first game against Sporting Kansas City. A sliding challenge there from Cronin. Birch picks up possession because that did have a little edge in that one. I know you weren't involved in the game itself. Ramirez picks up, goes down under the challenge. Referee Chris Penso awarding the free kick. You weren't involved. From what you saw, that was very un-preseason friendly like. That just goes to show that two MLS teams up against each other so close to the start of the season, that had a little edge to it.
It certainly did. I think Kansas City is a team who have a lot of competitive guys, and somewhat similar to us in a little bit of a transition period where maybe roles aren't clearly defined and guys are still fighting to find their way in the starting 11 or be able to make an impact on the team, or even players who are on trial trying to prove themselves. So when you have a little bit of that, like you said, edge to it, that competitiveness within your team and then against the other team, you're going to find that the tackles are coming in a little bit harder than you would imagine in preseason, and the game's going to have a good edge to it. But I think for the fans who are watching, that's going to be great for them, and ultimately for the coaches who are having to evaluate the talent, it's going to be good for them to see what a real MLS game looks like.
I remember talking to you after the game on Saturday, and you said that the Revolution goal came maybe about the time where the tank was a little empty from those out on the field. How long can these guys go tonight?
Probably looking at about the same amount of minutes. I would say 60-ish, 60, 75 is sort of the plan in terms of where subs will be made. But there might be some guys who go a little bit longer who are trying to get a little bit more match fit. But ultimately, a good chance there from round one. But like I said, ultimately, you're just trying to gradually improve that match fitness and be sharp for the opening game in Philadelphia.
10 days' time, that game against Philadelphia Union. It's a 4 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, live on Altitude. Union against the Rapids. Zach McMath will, my understanding is, will not be able to play in that game, so it's between the man alongside me and John Berner as to who will stand in between the sticks on that day. And I remember this time last year, Clint, you were had been or were just on the cusp of that injury, just on the
yeah, it happened in basically the last kick of the last preseason game on the Saturday. So
against New England,
hoping to avoid that this year, but
hoping not to have jinxed you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Richard.
Because that was a very, if I recall, but it was just a very stiff breeze, and you were just kicking the ball into a strong breeze over and over again. Set out the first 3 games of the season. John Berner taking his place in between the sticks. Corner kick then for the Rapids into the 10th minute. No score so far. Colorado Rapids against FC Tucson here at the Desert Diamond Cup. Richard Fleming alongside Clint Owen. Dylan Powers will deliver this corner kick from the Rapids left. Bobby Burling with the man at the back. It's scooted all the way across, eventually hooked clear, only as far as Riley. And that one will go out of play on this near side. We're very close to an air base here, so noise that you can hear overhead. There's helicopters and some big carriers as well, some large aircraft. I'm not fully up to speed on military aircraft. Ramirez, who went close a few moments ago, blazing wide though. Cronin challenging well. Good win back there from Boggs, but I think a little heavy there on that occasion from Reyna. Free kick then to the Rapids.
really looks like Dylan Powers and Juan Ramirez have struck up a good partnership since being out there. I think that combination play is something we can be excited about going forward. Juan's looked really sharp in preseason since coming on, and I think he's going to be a really good player in this league, just the way that he likes to take players on and try to create chances for his teammates.
And there are so many options as well. We're just talking about who could be in that starting 11 come opening day of the season. So many options, particularly in the midfield. Powers floats that one down the middle. It's headed out for a corner kick. Sebastian Pineda getting ahead on that, out of play. Dylan Powers will gallop across. Over there as well is Jared Watts, maybe try and take a short corner. He does indeed. Powers wants it and gets it. Can't find a way through though. Evans Amani Chinema clearing downfield. Jared Watts does well, gallops back. He's got a fantastic engine. So is Hairston, Ramirez, Pitanari, who's on the bench for the Rapids tonight. A lot of energy. You talk about competition, depth, competition for places. It's all around the park, Clint, isn't it?
Definitely is. I mean, you can see that the players we brought in, we've got center backs fighting for spots, central midfielders. We've got a glut of them. It's going to be interesting to see what combination makes their way into the squad on the first day, because there's certainly enough talent to go around. I think I would certainly feel comfortable with a lot of those faces out there. It's been really, really competitive.
Referee awarding a goal kick on that occasion. Marlon Hairston thought he'd done enough for a corner. Well, MLS Live is back for 2015. Watch hundreds of out-of-market matches on your computer, phone, tablet, Roku, Apple TV and Chromecast media player. Buy now for just $74.99. Visit MLSsoccer.com for more information and also rules on blackout. Barisha, ball falling short. Deshaun Brown anticipating, does well. Squeeze the ball out onto this near side to Marlon Hairston, who's swapped for the time being with Ramirez, who's in possession, just trying to toe poke it through to Dylan Powers, who I think may have strayed offside anyway, but slipped in running forward. Talking to Juan Ramirez a couple of weeks ago, he said that the Rapids may look to push him onto the right-hand side. He's naturally left-footed. He can cut in on his left foot from that right-hand side. So for the moment, Hairston falling to Powers. In fact, it's not falling to anybody too cleanly at the moment. Now it's found its way over onto that far side. Edgar Reyna does well to keep it in play.
You can see Ramirez kind of has that license to roam around. He's on the right side now, Marlon Hairston on the left, and Dylan Powers underneath. But at times, you saw Dylan Powers on the left, Juan Ramirez underneath the forward, and Marlon on the right. So I think that each three of those players have a license to kind of roam and combine, check inside, and see where the game kind of takes them. So, defensively, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage those roles.
As a goalkeeper, and if this were a role reversal and you've got that kind of movement in front, how much are you able to convey to your back line that there are players switching, there is movement going on, and maybe, as we just see this one floated over to this near side, Harb trying to sneak it in to Sinclair. In other words, again, we've spoken as a goalkeeper, you've got a very good view, that panoramic view of the field. How much are you able to advise players that, no, there's been a switch, there's movement around?
Yeah, it's a big part of the goalkeeper's game. I think the most important part is that your team keeps the ball when there's all those movement around. It's when you get unbalanced or there's a turnover where Juan Ramirez might be out of position or Marlon is caught up too high up the field. That's where you put your back four in trouble, and ultimately you might have to face a shot. So you want to keep the ball first and foremost, but when you're without the ball, make sure that the guys are kind of in that clearly defined shape, getting behind the ball, and then able to step and press from that shape.
Pineda dropping beyond the last man. In fact, he was, of course, the last man. We got Jason Gaylord and Pineda seem to do the job on Deshaun Brown. They know that he's quick. So you've got as
an understatement, and quick.
Quick, yes. Yes, he is lightning fast, is Deshaun Brown, but it looks like they're doubling up on the Jamaican international, with one sat on his shoulder and the other one just dropping 4 or 5 yards back, and a number of teams were doing that in into Sean Brown's second season, aware of the danger of his speed if he turned the defender that ended up being the last man. So they're trying to apply a little extra cover. Birch holds off the challenge well.
Yeah, I think with Deshorn and Dylan Powers, that partnership really works well because Deshorn's someone who can stretch the field, cause the center backs to track him deep, which gives that space underneath where Dylan Powers can kind of check in and weave his magic a bit. So, hopefully they can strike up that partnership that 2 years ago worked so well, where Dylan was able to find space and slip balls into Deshorn, who was finishing really well.
This field holding up fantastically well. It's had a few games, and again, it'll have 2 more matches on it tonight. Jared Watts, that rangy run, playing central defender now, but he can play holding midfield, teasing ball in from Deshaun Brown. And a corner kick gained by the Rapids. Dylan Powers and Juan Ramirez not able to gain the ground in time, but a good ball through. Incisive. And another corner kick to the Rapids. 17 minutes into this first game of match day 3 of the 2015 Desert Diamond Cup. No score so far. Powers, this one goes a lot deeper, looking towards the back post to Burling. Deshaun Brown over the top of the bar. But Bobby Burling at 6'5", the target man on that occasion, and the pairing of Burling and Axel Sjoberg, 6'5" and 6'7", 2 fantastic target men.
That's certainly going to be an exciting addition on set pieces. You got 2 massive targets in there, 2 guys who are very good at heading the ball. I think with Dylan Powers, he's one guy who I think a part of his game that's significantly underrated is his ability to deliver from set pieces and to really put that ball where he wants to.
Deshaun Brown on the angle, and just flying over the top of the bar. But again, that's a couple of times where Deshaun Brown has muscled his way free and used his speed to just open up a few yards and give himself some space.
And that all started from a goal kick taken by Tucson and Bobby Burling just coming in and winning the ball. It's pretty simple football, but it's something that you're looking for your center backs to do.
FC Tucson struggled in the first game of this tournament against Seattle Sounders. A Seattle Sounders side that were using all the big guns were out that night. Clint Dempsey scoring twice, Lamar Nagel twice, Kevin Parsamane twice. Femi Martins was also very much involved. They were trailing from very early on. It's always going to be difficult. Ramirez goes down under that challenge from Pineda. Free kick to the Rapids. Just stepping into the final bits of sunshine that are stretching across this field. Burling's wandered up again, as is Jared Watts. Referee wanting them back on a full 10 yards. So Dylan Powers had a few corner kicks. This one's a free kick from the angle. Making the run. Good clean header. Riley collects to Mark Birch. Fantasy Soccer Manager is here. Create your team and join leagues to show you the best fantasy manager in the league. We're offering $10,000 in prizes. Visit MLSsoccer.com for details. First game of the season for the Rapids, March 7th away at Philadelphia Union. The first home game, March 21st, against NYCFC. That's a 2 p.m. kickoff, Mountain Time. Go to ColoradoRapids.com for details of tickets for that game. The home opener against one of the new sides in Major League Soccer in 2015. Ghaffari in field. A little late from Deshaun Brown there. And Ghaffari stays down. Just nibbled at the back of the ankle. A little too eager was Brown. Approaching the midway point of this first half. Riley wins that one in the air. Hairston looks to have swapped back again with Ramirez. Birch is making the run on this near side. Is he going to be found eventually? That one was didn't quite have the angle from Cronin. Right to the left-hand side. You can't quite see Keegan Rogers just shielding the sun. Are you a glove in front of the face man, or are you a cap? Do you put, if the sun is that bad? Do you?
I think it's just glove in front of the face, but I haven't played on that side in the last game. That sun is brutal. I remember a back pass coming back, even on the ground, I was having trouble seeing the ball off the ground just because of the angle that the sun was at. So I know he's probably struggling with free kicks from that side, and Zach as well. It's just you got to deal with it, but it's something that it's just in the back of your mind and causes a little bit of uncertainty every time you approach the ball.
LaBrocca wins the ball back, just nudges it through to Deshaun Brown. Hairston collects, sitting deep, FC Tucson. Birch and Berisha giving chase. Birch doing enough to win a corner kick for the Rapids. 22 minutes gone. Another set piece for the MLS side. Burling arriving late. You can see the players glowing in the sunlight. And this will be going straight down the throat. In fact, Powers has gone short. Ramirez just toe poking one over the keeper, struggling there.
That's a great save by the keeper there.
Does well just to make himself big. I think it was Sam Cronin was trying to get that one over the head of Keegan Rogers.
That was a great save by Rogers in the end. He struggled a little bit on the initial ball coming in, but was able to make himself big, come up with a nice save on the rebound.
Shadi Harb against Juan Ramirez. Free kick to the Rapids. We're back underway. Birch to Ramirez. Burling to Riley. Back to Burling again. FC Tucson doing a good job. It's the set pieces. The Rapids unable to make them count. There's not been maybe a couple of half chances for Deshaun Brown from open play. FC Tucson sitting deep, not really committing too many bodies forward. Certainly when they don't have the ball, there are plenty of bodies behind the ball, as you can see here.
Yeah, I think for the most part, Tucson set their stall out, said, hey, you got to break us down. We're going to sit deep and try to counter. And so far, they've done a pretty good job at it. They're committing a few fouls, breaking up the rhythm of the game. But they're going to be fine with that. As long as they can defend set pieces, they're going to be fine with the way the half is going and try to find maybe a half chance when they're going forward on a set piece or a counterattack. So far, so good for Tucson.
Shadi Harb being spoken to by the referee, Chris Penso. I know that is one of the elements referees are going to be looking out for this year. They're certainly punishing a little bit more frequently. That's the suggestion. Persistent infringement. Dissent is the other one. Birch. Nicely delivered. Away by Gaylord again. Throwing his body at it. McMath to Jared Watts. Entering his second season. Rookie in 2014, Jared Watts. Berisha. Kafari. Sweeping the ball. Kafari once again. First touch not the greatest. Ramirez to Brown. Brown. Brocker forced to check and wriggle around the referee as well.
Also got to remember that this Tucson team was pretty much came together right before this tournament. They haven't had too much time to train together. The faces are probably unfamiliar to each other, seeing as a PDL team, and you have pretty high turnover from year to year. So I've been pretty impressed with how organized they've been and the competitiveness that they've shown throughout this tournament.
FC Tucson with a throw. Ramirez. Another free kick.
That's another foul on Ramirez, and here comes the yellow card for persistent infringement.
That is Shadi Harb. Goes in the book.
We had our meeting with the with Pro a couple days ago, and that was something that they said they were going to crack down on. And I think it's something that's going to be good for the game in the long run. You see too many of the skill players who in this league are really just getting hacked down and blowing up the rhythm of the game, and it's not really the product that you want to see out there. We got to remember that it's entertainment at the end of the day, and I think even though I might not want to see a lot of goals, I know other people do.
Yeah. The 6-second rule was the other one that they were going to be looking to keep another eye on as well. So that certainly does affect goalkeepers. Ramirez doing well. Nice ball in to Sean Brown. Unable to be the first to that. That was a little wayward. Powers goes up. It's a little scrappy at the moment.
About to say the same thing. Just a little scrappy. Was a little bit windy down there in pre-game. I don't know if that's having any effect on the players, but just hasn't seemed to settle too much. And Tucson will be fine with that. As the lower league team coming in, they want to make it a scrap. They want to fight for every ball. Not afraid to give away some fouls, especially in a preseason tournament where yellow cards aren't going to add up. So that's probably in their game plan, probably something they talked about before the game.
We can see the flags away to the left-hand side that are fluttering. Quite breezy. Almost corner to corner, heading towards that right-hand corner. You can just got a quick glimpse there of the corner flag. Certainly not strong enough to hold the ball up. Zach McMath getting some distance with that clearance. Approaching the half-hour mark. FC Tucson holding the Colorado Rapids here in this third game for the Rapids of the Desert Diamond Cup. 2 more games to come. The second of the day about to kick off. Hairston's going to have to chase and give chase. He's outnumbered on that occasion. Jason Gaylord getting across, giving away the throw-in.
Well, that's something that you don't really see from a lot of the foreign players, at least attacking players coming to the league, was Juan Ramirez stepping across the defender who's trying to dribble him, making the tackle, and then taking it on. I think that's something where you're looking at, is he going to succeed in this league? The willingness to fight for those balls, to tackle, to track back. I remember seeing him in the first half track back past the midfield line on a counterattack to win the ball back. So that commitment to defending doesn't go unnoticed by his teammates, and it's something that I think is going to lead to him having success throughout this year.
And is that something that that has been instilled as well throughout the team? I know, defend as a team, defend, don't concede, build from the back, and maybe that's just part of that philosophy that you've got to get the ball back, win the ball back, have the ball at your feet, have the ball in your team's possession.
Certainly, that's something that Pablo has preached all preseason. But even Juan coming in as a new player, you can see he just has that desire to do it. No one's telling him that he has to do that. He could be someone who sits out on the wing and creates and just goes forward, and that would probably be enough. But he's looking to do a little bit extra for the team, and I can tell you that his teammates definitely appreciate that.
Ramirez played about an hour or so of his first game. That was against New England Revolution last weekend. That was a 1-1 tie, 2-2 tie for the first game 7 days ago against Sporting Kansas City. So the Rapids looking for their first win at the Desert Diamond Cup. Results are good, but certainly preparation and having the right kind of exercise, or a game that is the perfect exercise in pre-season as they prepare for that opening game in 10 days' time. Pineda to Gaylord. He's going to go long. Ramirez, Cronin. Powers just has a little look over his shoulder, knows that he's got to hurry along. Hairston. Riley's making the run outside him. Just a little nudge.
Let's go. You're going to go for Shoddy on the right. Okay.
Back to Hairston in field. Powers was pointing to where it should have gone. Riley once again. Ramirez. Ramirez and Hairston both on that side. Little trickery attempted there from Marlon Hairston. Didn't quite come off on that occasion. FC Tucson now can look to surge forward. Not too many white jerseys in support. Waiting. And a goal kick.
Those are sort of those transition moments that Tucson's going to be looking for in this game, but didn't have enough quality there on the final ball to make it dangerous for the Rapids, but they did have the numbers forward. I think they just need to find a little bit more quality there to make it work, but at the same time, Colorado, we've got to be a little bit more careful with the ball on the edge of the other team's area. Sometimes when you have the ball, your possession is the ones that make the most dangerous opportunities for the other team.
Well, looks like we're going to have some changes shortly for FC Tucson. There's one, maybe two, ready to come on. Clark Phillips being one of them, and Andres Acosta the other. So we'll keep an eye on those two. And I suppose that's the beauty for FC Tucson in a game like this, where they have been chasing. The legs you would expect would maybe go after an hour, but if you can bring a brand new 11 on, that doesn't quite have the same effect.
Certainly. Their coach probably instructed them and said, hey, you got 45 minutes, run all you have, and then we're going to change the whole team and we'll do it again. So it's certainly an advantage to have in preseason, and Colorado's maybe treating it a little bit more game-like, where those mass substitutions aren't an option, and you do have to spell yourself a little bit. Good ball there by Birch. Brown
didn't have a great deal of room there, but he took the ball down well with the first touch, just crowded out. And a little tug on the jersey. Free kick. Derek Boggs, the man who was fouled. Two substitutes waiting on the sidelines now, ready to come in. Acosta and Phillips. So it'll be about the 34, 35 minute mark. Cronin picks up the pieces. Dylan Powers stays down. He's now back on his feet, is the Rapids number 8.
It's a great win there by a combination of Sam Cronin and Dylan Powers in midfield. But I think Sam found himself in this place where he's not quite used to. 2v2 running out the back four. Haven't seen too many stepovers or feints or slides to the shoulder from Sam so far in preseason. So I think he was waiting for a little bit more support to get up to him, but it would have been great to see him some Ronaldo-esque moves there.
Yeah, sometimes that way, isn't it? You get a player who's slightly out of position and they realise that, well, I've seen the other guys do it. I've seen, do I do what Deshaun does and just accelerate away? That change is made then. 11 coming on. That's Andres Acosta for Drillan Berisha.
Tucson, number 11, Andres Acosta. And number 14, Clark Phillips.
And Phillips just waiting to come on. And the man coming out is number 10, Shadi Harb, who
didn't look too happy there.
Didn't look too happy. Refused the hand of Juan Ramirez. Picked up a yellow card earlier in the half. So 35 minutes gone. FC Tucson making a double change. Still no score.
For Tucson, they've got a good target up top, but the service into him just has been really lacking. It's not really giving him a chance to bring it down and bring other people in play, and it's not giving Tucson a chance to move their lines and surround the ball.
Taken down nicely from Hairston, looking for bodies in the middle. Only cleared as far as Ramirez. Got 2 players in front of him. Back to Birch. Powers in the middle, as is Hairston. Birch is going to come back to Jared Watts. Just tees up Cronin. Number 6 for the Rapids. Got the captain's armband on for the first half. At least that's been sort of switched around between Sam Cronin and Marcelo Savas. Powers finds Ramirez. Just cushions the first touch. Back to Birch. Watts again. FC Tucson disciplined, sitting deep. Just inviting the Rapids on. Inviting them to try and find a way through. Brown does find its way to Powers. Cronin. Birch. Back to Birch again. What seems the outlet at the moment. They'll just try and restart once again. Ramirez. Brown's going to have to watch it. He was just straying into an offside position. Didn't find him, in fact. Acosta, one of his early touches, picks out Riley, trialist for the Rapids. Hairston. LaBrocca. Bobby Burling takes a bit to take him down, but Adain Sinclair is a big fella. He's that target man. Maybe a little frustration. As you say, it's not finding its way to him. He looks as if he can be a decent target man, whether it's back to goal or standing toe-to-toe with either Watts or Burling. Another little tug on Juan Ramirez.
Yeah, speaking with some of the players from the other teams that have played Tucson, they kind of signaled that Tucson did have a strong player up top who did cause them some problems when he got service. So if he can just get the ball to his feet, I would like to see what he can offer and see what kind of challenge he can provide to the back four.
Ramirez skip his way through, goes down under a challenge again. Birch drills one across. Maybe kept in by Hairston. It is, in fact. LaBrocca. Just first touch took him wide. And a corner kick won by Nick LaBrocca.
Visit Tucson welcomes the teams and fans of Major League Soccer to Southern Arizona for information about the incredible attractions, dining and nightlife this area has to offer. Click over to visittucson.org or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Dylan Powers then with the corner kick. This time for the right-hand side. Cronin was bearing down on that near post. It was cut out, though, by Jason Gaylord. Riley giving chase. In fact, he's won the throw for the Rapids. I don't think he was overly convinced by that, to be fair, because he was getting back into position. Goes the way of Colorado. Ramirez. You can see as soon as he gets the ball, he's got a couple of players for company. Ramirez looking for the spectacular. Wow. What a great run from Juan Ramirez. And Keegan Rogers had to be equal to the task on that occasion. A corner kick for the Rapids. But the new young DP did very well. That's
exactly what he has to offer there. You saw him pick up the ball with a man on his back, spin, and then start dribbling at the defense, and it beats another man, gets his shot off, and an excellent save from Keegan Rogers there.
These corner kicks mounting up for the Rapids. Can they make this one count? Just dropped into the hole, cleared though away. Back to Mark Birch. It's going to go all the way through and out of play. So a chance to remind you to download the MLS app from the App Store or Google Play for free. Look for our regular season edition update to the app just before the start of the season, and then check out the latest pre-season news and videos. You can also check the scores once the season gets underway. The season starting on March 6th. Download for free. That's the MLS app. Got all of your information you could need from Major League Soccer. Hairston racing through, released well by Dylan Powers. Well defended from Jason Gaylord, racing back. And did enough to deflect a ball into the path of goalkeeper Keegan Rogers.
Again, a great chance for the Rapids created off of the Tucson goal kick. I think it was Sam Cronin coming through, winning the ball that time. And within one pass after that contested ball, Dylan Powers has played Marlon Hairston through on goal and took a great tackle from Tucson's central defender there to prevent a chance.
Powers under a bit of pressure. Back to Watts into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Still no score. On MLSsoccer.com and ColoradoRapids.com, live action from the 2015 Desert Diamond Cup.
Something that's interesting to me watching Juan Ramirez and Dylan Powers is they're almost operating as dual playmakers. Something you don't really see. Juan's not staying out as a true winger, and Dylan's not really out there as a true forward. They've both kind of come simultaneously underneath Deshaun Brown looking for the ball.
Space down that left-hand side for Grant. Riley in front of him, a few step-overs. Finding Sinclair, and McMath stands strong.
Saved by Zach McMath right there. Just kind of bounced around a little bit, and Zach well-positioned to make the save off the header.
Arguably the best chance of the half.
Certainly was, and as a goalkeeper, that's one where you're not really in the game too much, not getting too many touches on the ball with your hands, and it's well done by Zach to stay alert and be available to make the save there.
Took a fortuitous deflection, I think. It came off the boot of Evans Amani Chima and just looped up, but Sinclair straight at, I say straight at Zach McMath. He still had to react and made himself big, and maybe that was enough for Sinclair just to spot him out of the corner of his eye. LaBroca to Ramirez, who's been busy this first 42 minutes.
What a pass.
Dylan Powers round the keeper. Just nudged it out of play, though. Approaching the 43rd minute. Plenty of set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks around the FC Tucson penalty area. The Rapids not really able to make them count. Well, certainly the scoreline suggests that that is the case. And at the other end, almost hit by a sucker punch towards the end of the first half. Sinclair going close just a few moments ago. I think it's fair to say the Rapids have had the lion's share of possession and chances. And possession in that final third. Ramirez just patiently waiting for the ball to sit down. Kafari putting him out of his step. 90 seconds of this first half to go. LaBroca to Hairston. Amani Chima trying to find a way forward. He does so, and he does well, over halfway to Grant. Looking for the target man. McMath, though, comfortably underneath that. Bowls it out to Birch on this near side. Just looking up, urging support. Again, FC Tucson back to front, and then back behind the ball again, defending. Burling into the last minute. No score still. By this stage in the first half, in the first game, should I say, for FC Tucson, they were 4-0 down against Seattle. But again, I think you mentioned earlier, Clint, it's maybe an indicator that this is a side that is beginning to become a bit more familiar with each other, and they're settling into a pattern.
Yeah, that's something we talked about before the game, is that their first game is going to be a learning experience for them, learning curve with the combination of players that they're bringing in, and they've seemed to improve each game. I think they were leading Salt Lake at one point during the game, and so far they've been putting on a decent performance here. So it's one to kind of be wary of when you're going into it as a team that not quite sure what they're going to offer, and they're going to be happy with the way that this first half has turned out. Well,
thank you very much to Clint Owen. We'll let him go off and get his halftime orange. And we'll hopefully get some more Rapids players in the second 45. 45 minutes that the Rapids have dominated for long periods, but the best chance of the first half falling the way of O'Dane Sinclair for FC Tucson. At the break, though, it's Colorado Rapids 0, FC Tucson 0.
Come in and try a Culver's Butter Burger. Butter Burgers are made with 100% US beef, seared on a hot grill to lock in the flavor and served up on a lightly buttered toasted bun. Welcome to Delicious. The 2015 Desert Diamond Cup is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casinos and Entertainment, Southern Arizona's entertainment destination. Coming live to the Diamond Center are comedian Angela Johnson on March 7th and award-winning multi-platinum country star Tracy Lawrence March 28th. Visit us at ddcaz.com for more information. Desert Diamond Casino.
Thank you. So how long you been on this run? Since the Super Bowl? Ballet in there and it got a little weird. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the ballet like that. Wow. Go home. You're like, where's home, right? And then you got a Phoenix? You live in Phoenix? Oh, that's good. We'll do this. You do the stuff in other places, or you just do it here?
You get a night, I get a boat, we'll go fishing. Down in the moonlight, Saturday night, church on Sunday morning. You get a night, I get a boat, we'll go fishing. Down in the moonlight, Saturday night.
And you have like a union, is that what it is? And you're pool? drama for this guy. That's good. That's the same kind of with these off-duty jobs. If you gotta cause drama around work, then you're kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna take this guy instead of this guy. How long you been doing this? And it's all local stuff mainly, or do you travel even when you're younger? Like out and about or in the studio? Makes sense. I mean, if they're over here and they're filming over here, why take all that stuff and move it over there when there's guys with the stuff? Yeah. Definitely makes sense. That's cool. Is this the first time you've done the MLS Cup? Or the Diamond Cup? Then you work with these guys a lot, or you just put them together? You just get thrown together with a different company. I had to put mine on about, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. You did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can direct your attention to the front of the lower grandstand area,
Things you don't like to do.
mini soccer balls will be heading your way. Get your hands up and ready, and let's hear you cheer if you want one. These balls are provided by CARF International. You have choices when researching and selecting your healthcare services. Look for CARF accreditation. When comparing providers, CARF accreditation is earned by providers that show commitment to service quality and a focus on the satisfaction of the people they serve. To find CARF accredited providers, visit us online at carf.org. You want a soccer ball? Let's hear you. Soccer balls provided by CARF International. Looks like we've got one left. Who wants it? Do you know CARF International, based in Tucson? CARF International is an independent nonprofit advocate for quality in health and human programs around the world. CARF International is proud to partner with FC Tucson and the Desert Diamond Cup as a tribute to team building, overcoming obstacles, and personal achievement. Ask about CARF accreditation when looking for healthcare services, or find a provider at carf.org. That's CARF International. Simply Bits is a proud sponsor of the 2015 Desert Diamond Cup. Simply Bits delivers fully managed internet, telephone, and IT solutions that keep pace with your business needs. Choose the simplicity of one network and one provider. Simply Bits residential internet services are also available. Learn more at simplybits.com.
Whatever you want to give me.
This one has MLS on it.
Okay, fans, are you ready for some second half action? Let's hear you out there.
5 minutes gone then in this second half. I'll run you through the changes as we see 3 changes for the Rapids. Dylan Cerner's on for Marlon Hairston. Wes Knight for James Riley. And we also have Axel Sjoberg is on for Bobby Burling at the break. Still no score. LaBrocca collects to Cerner. Powers running through the middle. Also Ramirez. Cerner not going to quite reach him. Powers does well to win it back. Now to Birch. Birch to Cronin's going to have to hurry. Under pressure. And FC Tucson bring the ball away. Grant. Danger here. That one was skied by Clark Phillips. His eyes to the heavens. The one change for FC Tucson at the break. That's Beresford on for Michael Kafari, it appears, number 30. In fact, Kafari is there. I will get to the bottom of this. So try and look at the changes made by... There was no board held up. That's what's adding to the confusion on identifying which sub was taken out for FC Tucson at the break. So just to confirm, Hairston has made way for Dylan Cerner, collecting the ball there. Jared Watts is now joined along the back line by Axel Sjoberg. And Wes Knight replacing James Riley. That's going to fall short of its intended target of Dylan Powers. Cerner all the way through to Keegan Rogers. Quick break. 4 against 5. 3 jerseys in the penalty area, 3 white jerseys that is. Strong play from Sinclair. Still going. Costa with the ball in. Jared Watts wins it in the air. Ramirez down to LaBrocca. Ramirez just scampering through, trying to find Brown. Is that going to fall to Dylan Cerner? Out of play for a Rapids throw on this near side. Cronin. Powers. Back to goal, finds Birch. Ramirez leaves that one. Unfortunately didn't find Deshaun Brown. Cronin collects. Wes Knight? To one of the other second half substitutes, Dylan Cerner. Cronin just scoops it through to Brown. Brown and Ramirez, 6s and 7s there. Second game to come on this field this evening. Sporting Kansas City against Real Salt Lake. That's an 8 p.m. local time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Sinclair using his strength, getting away from Watts. Grant falls nicely, and that's just driven wide by Michael Kafari.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've come across
Sinclair causing a few problems then over the last few moments for the Rapids.
Touch, would you please kindly bring it to the press box area?
10 minutes gone in the second half, still no score.
Touch. If you've come across that, could you please bring that to the press box? Thank you very much.
So 3 changes made by the Rapids at the break. Plenty more options on the bench. Alvarez, Badgie, John Burnett, goalkeeper, Harrington. Montoya, Newnham, Pitanari, Sanchez, Savas, as well as Torres as well. Torres 2 goals in 2 games. One more game to come for the Rapids at the Desert Diamond Cup this coming Saturday. And I suspect that may have very much a Philadelphia Union in mind, that game. The last, driven that one from Sam Cronin, always rising and away from the target. Yes, by the time the Rapids play that game on Saturday, be a week away from that opening game. Opening game in the 2015 MLS season for the Rapids, away at Philadelphia Union, PPL Park. Live on altitude, 2 p.m. kickoff, Mountain Time. The home opener for the Rapids, March 21st at NYCFC. David Villa. Go to coloradorapids.com for details of how to get tickets to that game. And of course, all single game tickets available from $29. A lot of big names with big teams coming in to pit their wits against the Rapids over the coming months. A Rapid side that, with the arrival of Juan Ramirez, 9 new signings, so very much a new look. Colorado Rapids side. Get your tickets to get out and see this new look side. One of the new players, Sam Cronin, finding Wes Knight, who finds touch on this near side.
And you will receive a second basket free. This includes any sandwich.
MLS Live is back for 2015. Watch hundreds of out-of-market matches on your computer, phone, tablet, Roku, Apple TV and Chromecast media player. You can buy now for just $74.99. Visit MLSsoccer.com for more information and blackout rules. Another player due to come in for FC Tucson. It's Marcus Brooks, number 15. He's waiting. Play continues. The other number 15, Juan Ramirez. We're hoping to be joined by Bobby Burling shortly. Ramirez scampering through. Nobody there. Racing towards that near post. Just needed somebody to anticipate and accelerate a little bit more, but just in front of the Rapids players, 3 of them, Powers, Cerner and Deshaun Brown. Bobby Burling making his way to the commentary box. We'll be catching a word with him shortly. We had an extensive chat with Clinto in first half. I know a number of you enjoyed hearing the thoughts of the Rapids goalkeeper as the substitution is made. That's Evans Amani Chima making way. And the man coming in, Marcus Brooks. Cerner trying to drive through the crowd. As Bobby just settles in alongside. We'll catch a word with Bobby Burling shortly. That's a good ball in. And Keegan Rogers had to race from his line just a couple of yards to snatch that. Had a play by Brooks. Jared Watts finding Nick LaBrocca. Cronin to Cerner. Again, FC Tucson doing a very good job of just sitting deep, getting numbers behind the ball. Bobby Burling's just played 45 minutes, but you're just a little out of breath, aren't you, Bobby, coming up the steps?
Yeah, I think the steps got me there. But yeah, a good organized first half from the boys. Unlucky maybe not to nick one, but a good half all in all.
How are you feeling now in terms of, and obviously how you're feeling maybe is an indicator as to how the other players are feeling. 3 games into Tucson, 5 games in, 4 or 5 games into pre-season. How's the body feeling?
Yeah, it's feeling better each and every day, really. You know, we want to play games, and the games are the most fun part. And you know, I think it's been a good preseason so far. And we got this one tonight, and then one more, and each one gets a little more anxious for that opening weekend, which really matters.
invite you to visit all of their outstanding dealerships.
Throw into FC Tucson. Acosta with the throw, looking to go down the left wing. Jared Watts slightly misjudging that one now, to scamper back. Schoberg racing across to cover the ground. Brooks in possession, skipping one way, then the other, finds some space. And Wes Knight covering, anticipates well. A corner kick to FC Tucson. That was just a slight misjudgment from Jared Watts. An hour gone, still no score here at Keno North Stadium, the Desert Diamond Cup 2015 edition. Colorado Rapids 0, FC Tucson 0. We'll see this corner kick and get a few more words from Bobby Burling. Zach McMurph giving out the instructions towards the near post. Couldn't quite see that one through, and it goes out of play. Another corner kick, in fact. It was Derek Boggs who tried to just help that one on. So FC Tucson once again. Not fully cleared. Now it is. We'll come back to Sebastian Pineda, stroking the ball outside. Beresford. Finds to Sean Brown, who just shows a bit too much of it. And it's back at the Rapids. Still got some work to do here at FC Tucson. Schoberg taking no risk, putting his laces through that one. Give us the idea of the mindset. If you're playing 45 minutes, you know you're playing 45 minutes. Is it full tilt? Is it? How do you gauge how much you've got to give in that 45-minute spell?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the coaches usually give us a pretty good gauge of where we're going to be at and where we're going to play and how long we might go. So definitely fully engaged, and you know, fitness is a big part of preseason, and the best fitness is playing in games. And I think, you know, there's no taking plays off, no taking it easy, especially in the weeks leading up to the season. So I think it's been good. All the guys have been competing for spots. As you can see, it's a pretty highly competitive group at every position, so it only brings the best out in the competition.
Cronin finds Powers. Picked out there from Gaylord. Now it's just swept crossfield. It'll skip out of play for a Rapids goal kick. We're going to have another substitution here for the Rapids. In fact, it's going to be a double substitution. It looks like it's Ben Unum and John Burnett coming in. So Burnett will get a little under half an hour in goal. Zach McMurph making way, and Unum coming on for Jared Watts. So he'll slot in alongside Axel Schoberg. A similar player in a sense, Newnham, in the fact that he can play a defensive midfield role. He anticipates the ball, he reads the game well.
Yeah, good young kid. He's come into camp and done a great job. I know he spent last year with the Charlotte Independence team with the affiliate. He's a real good kid, and you know, learning, asking lots of questions. And I think I told him, you know, versatility is one thing that can't be taught, and you know, he's been able to plug in and give us different positions in training and even in matches like today.
We're now going to have another substitution, yeah, with the Charlotte Eagles last year. Charlotte Independence, he's with them now, but he's with the Rapids in camp at the moment. There's a change here for the Rapids.
Thought Juan had a good showing there in the first half, especially getting forward in the offensive third. He always seems to do a good job of getting his first touch turned forward and really going at pace at the defenders.
Powers looking for Brown. Scuffed that one wide, under pressure there from Acosta. And just to confirm the change for the Rapids, Benji Joya has come on.
young kid from San Jose, I believe, actually spent some time with Chicago Fire last year, and more recently in preseason with Seattle Sounders. So just joined us this week. Young kid, I believe plays out wide on the wing. I think you got him slotted in on the right side there.
So on for Ramirez, who was busy. Just dragged that one away from Deshaun Brown. Axel Schoberg as a rookie, I know he's 6'7". He's got certainly a lot of attributes to play at this level, but he doesn't shirk responsibility. He gets stuck in. Joya struggling just to find his range at the moment. That's 2 in a row. One just missed Deshaun Brown. That one just wide of LaBroca. And the one from Derek Boggs there for FC Tucson. Schoberg to Birch, down the line to Cerner. Cerner operating down the left-hand side at the moment. Benji Joy down the right. Cronin giving chase. That's cut out by Jason Gaylord. Been busy himself and Pineda in that central defensive position. Birch short to Cerner. Trying to squeeze it through. FC Tucson again been doing a very good job of just sitting and containing and frustrating. This Sinclair lad, FC Tucson, how much of a handful has he been?
Yeah, he's been, target forward up front. Find himself in good spots around the box and the hold-up play. He's been good. Back to goal. Not much going forward as far, but he's doing his job and winning 50-50s like that.
Cronin finds Cerner. Powers making a move down the middle to Sean Brown on the outside. Allows that one to roll through, and Pineda anticipated well, picked that one out. Sinclair up against Newnham. Does well. Spotted by Cronin, who's now urging the Rapids to get out. To Sean Brown. You have to just hold the ball up. You can see Powers and Joya surging forward. Not too many burgundy bodies up there at the moment, though. Cronin to LaBroca. Joya, Knight on this near side, number 24. Back to Joya. LaBroca. Finding Powers. Cronin. He's playing a waiting game here. Low in, and Dylan Powers, a goal. Great stop, and a great double stop from Keegan Rogers. A good reaction save from the FC Tucson keeper. Dylan Powers found space at that near post as we take another look. You can see Powers, number 8, making that run towards the near post. And in fact, it was behind him for Rogers. Just managed to stick out his hand, and probably not sure it caught all digits, but he did enough to parry and then grab at the second attempt. There's been a few of those chances for the Rapids where there's been the ball delivered in, and that was poor from Joya. Where's Knight out of position? Newnham having to come across to cover, and he does so. I say there's been a couple of those times where there's been a cross in towards that near post. There's not been anybody making the run towards the space. Powers did so on that occasion. Bit of confusion here. The throw has gone the way of FC Tucson. Andres Acosta. Just waiting for some movement. Marcus Brooks dispossessed. To Sean Brown. Snapping away at the heels of Sinclair. Try and compare, contrast Jared Watts and Axel Schoberg and playing alongside both of those. Do you take on different responsibilities depending on who is alongside you?
Yeah, I definitely think, getting a chance to play with both of them now, it's it's been great between us. Understanding and communication has been good. Obviously, Axel's probably a little more like myself and being a taller guy and physical in the challenge and good in the air. And Watsy, you know, more of a finesse player, if you will, like a good organizer, great passer of the ball, and puts himself in good spots. A great compliment to any center back. Kind of see a little bit of maybe a young Drew Moore in Watsy, actually. Simple player and always connects the game very well.
We're going to have a triple substitution shortly for the Rapids. 3 players waiting to come on. Don Badgie, Gabriel Torres and Michael Harrington will be coming in.
Using a multi-channel approach, Alpha Graphics, a proud sponsor of FC Tucson.
LaBrocca. Powers. Finding Cerna over on that far side. Birch has made the run outside him. And we will have the changes now for the Rapids. Harrington in the foreground. Dominic Badgie and Gabriel Torres. So Harrington on. Mark Birch is off. And he's making his way around behind the goal to the right-hand side. And then Deshaun Brown and Dylan Powers coming out. Badgie for Brown. Torres for Powers.
Good to see those two guys come in and put a good 70 minutes in after coming off a little bit of injury there. I think they're both dealing with, well, Dylan had a little hip pointer, and I think Deshaun with the ankle. So it looks like they're back to getting some fitness in and putting a good shift there.
So some fresh legs then for the Rapids. Cerna drilling one across goal. Zipping off the surface. A little moisture probably out there now. Just skipped and kicked. Maybe hoping for a little late bend on that one. Didn't materialise. 18 minutes to go. Still no score. Fantasy Soccer Manager is here. Create your team and join leagues to show you the best fantasy manager in the league. We're offering $10,000 in prizes. Visit MLSsoccer.com for details. 10 days to the first game for the Colorado Rapids away at Philadelphia Union. March 7th. Over the far side then for FC Tucson with the throw. Best chance really fallen the way of Dane Sinclair towards the end of the first half for FC Tucson up until that point. Or up until Dylan Powers, should I say, a few moments ago. That was the best chance of the game. Powers going close for the Rapids. Another couple of substitutions coming in then, thick and fast they're out. This time for FC Tucson. Ian Ramos coming in. I think Elliot Prost as well. And coming out, Derek Boggs and that man Sinclair. Oh, Dane Sinclair, who's been causing a bit of a nuisance. Maybe a sigh of relief on the part of the Rapids defence. Approaching the last 15 minutes of this contest. It's been a little stubborn FC Tucson this evening. Sjoberg, straight back from whence it came. Clark Phillips forced back. Jason Gaylord under pressure from Torres. Badgie giving chase now. LaBrocca cuts out. Hoya. That's going to be too much for Wes Knight on this near side. LaBrocca keeps it in play. Some space opening up for Beresford. The final ball lacking.
Desert Diamond Casinos and Entertainment is proud to sponsor the 2015 FC Tucson.
Little frustrating for the side tonight, not finding that way through at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be anxious to see if Gabby and Dom can give us some fresh legs up front and kind of push for one the last 15 here. Obviously, we've drawn our first 2 games, and we definitely emphasize how we want to win. And although it's a preseason match, you know, it's important to get a W in the win columns. Hopefully, we can push for one late here.
Corner kick. That one ricocheting off Gaylord, out for a corner kick on this near side for the Rapids. Still scoreless at Keno North Stadium. Another game to follow on this field on MLSsoccer.com. Sporting Kansas City against Real Salt Lake. Well, with the corner kick flicked on. Heads at the far post. It's cleared off the line. LaBroca still not fully cleared, and it's put wide from Dylan Cerner.
We need some goal line technology there, Richard. I don't know.
2 or 3 good chances there. I think Rogers was beaten as we take another look. The defender on the line. That's the latter chance. FC Tucson watching that one go wide by just a matter of inches.
Heck of a play to keep that out.
It was bouncing around, wasn't it? Cleared by Harrington. Badgie just cushions it. Well spotted by Schoberg. Decent ball in from Hoyer to Cerner. If he can get it under control, that second touch just bounced up off his knee as he was getting ready to pull the trigger. This game is spreading out a little bit now. A bit more space for both sides.
A couple great balls there by Axe. Started from Axel and a good job in by Benji as well. Dylan just a little unfortunate. Got the first touch underneath him, I think. Wasn't able to get a clean strike on it.
Harrington, space opening up for him. Didn't quite have enough on that to find Cerner, but he should collect. Tries to get the ball across. Gaylord cuts that one out. Back to Harrington. Finds Wes Knight on this near side. In fact, it's the Hoyer. LaBroca. Cronin beaten to the ball. The Rapids win back possession. Cerner. Harrington. Back to Cerner. Wasn't quite ready for it. Rocking on his heels a bit. Schoberg again. 12 minutes to go. Badgie. Oh, they all missed it. Hoyer teasing one in towards the near post. To be fair, probably had a little too much on it. And Torres not able to get across to that one quick enough. Just watch this one as Harrington intercepts. We're talking about the defensive duties. Would you have a conversation with your central defensive partner before a game? If it's Watts one game, Schoberg the next, or do you know their strengths or weaknesses? Do you know where the roles and responsibilities lie?
Yeah, I think it's always a developing relationship, pre-game, post-game, and during training and during the games as well. Just getting on the same page and kind of knowing each other's tendencies. Almost sneaked through there.
Almost sneaked through his legs of Keegan Rogers there, and Benji Hoyer.
But yeah, always trying to learn each other's tendencies and partner well together. You know, it's central defense is kind of the bone of the team, and you could say the same about the back four as well as the outside backs, and speaking and kind of knowing their tendencies as well.
LaBroca to Torres. Looking for his third goal in 3 games in Tucson. He's carried on his run. Cerner wins the corner kick, though, for the Rapids. 80 minutes gone. Approaching the last 10 here in Tucson.
Good spell here. You can kind of sense the urgency. I think we're pushing for one.
Well, Schoberg is up there, 6'7", number 44. You just caught the back of him there. He will be, I imagine, well watched by FC Tucson. I suspect he'll be the target man as well. Torres with the ball in. Schoberg!
Yes!
And there is the goal. And it is Axel Schoberg, all 6'7½". And he's finally broken the deadlock for the Rapids in the 81st minute. Torres with the corner. Schoberg with the goal. And the Rapids lead by 1-0.
It was coming, Rich. It was coming. Great ball and a great finish there.
That was a thumping header from Axel Schoberg. Let's have a look at this again. Just shimmies, gives himself some space, and then watch him just use his power. And of course that
Great
height.
finish there, yeah.
And Keegan Rogers with no chance at all. But as you said, Bobby, it was coming. You could just sense that the game was beginning to stretch out. A number of good chances for the Rapids in the last few moments. So the change being made by FC Tucson. Anthony Grant making way. It is Josamai Mirez coming on. Axel Schoberg then with his first goal for the Rapids, and it's separating them with FC Tucson, who have been stubborn and they have frustrated the Rapids. They've sat deep. It's been a workmanlike performance on the part of FC Tucson. They really have stuck well to their game. Maybe a second here for Cerner. Just wide. Beginning to open up a little bit for the Rapids now. The second one would put this one away. Not too much threat at the other end, he says, since maybe Sinclair's gone out of the game. Going to be making another change shortly, FC Tucson. Newnham's going to have to be careful here. Does well to tidy up at the back. Cronin to LaBrocca. Oh, that was gifted away by Nick LaBrocca. You're going to have to be very careful. Although not with a finish like that. Another change. Kirkland is coming in. And heading towards the sideline is Clark Phillips. The final 7 minutes of the game. I'll download the MLS app from the App Store or Google Play for free. Look out for our regular season edition update to the app just before the start of the season. Check out the latest pre-season news and videos, and then check scores once the season starts. That is March 6th, so download the MLS app for free. Badgie looking for Torres, deflected just wide. And a corner kick. In fact, a goal kick, so maybe it was Torres that... No, offside, in fact. That's why the goalkeeper's bringing the ball out to the edge of the penalty area. Offside against Gabriel Torres. The Rapids then have just got their noses in front. Coming into this game, Bobby, bearing in mind Seattle have beaten FC Tucson 6-0, a 3-1 win for Real Salt Lake. What does this teach you as a side? It shows you the ability to grind teams down and stay disciplined defensively at the same time. Is that just as good an exercise as a 5-0 win, say?
Yeah, definitely. I think some days the opportunities aren't gonna end up in the net, and I think I could say that today, that we've had a few good chances that sometimes you see go in, especially with Dillon's and a couple of these last ones here that have been saved off the line. But yeah, it's definitely a good exercise. We try to close out a game here with a 1-0 victory. Those are sometimes the hardest ones to get in our league, and especially on the road. It's a decent crowd here and a great facility, and sometimes you just got to grind it out, like you said, and close the door here.
The Rapids doing their best. as you're following us on ColoradoRapids.com and MLSsoccer.com. The 2015 Desert Diamond Cup, Game 3 for the Rapids. 2-2 tie with Sporting KC, a 1-1 tie with New England Revolution. They've got their goal in this game against FC Tucson. It was late in arriving. Axel Sjoberg powering a header in from a Gabriel Torres corner kick. 81 minutes in. And plenty of minutes for a lot of the players as well. So that's been a worthwhile exercise. To be careful. Cronin. Hoyer falls short of it. Intended target, LaBroca. FC Tucson now looking to try and get back on level terms. On this near side to Kirkland. Swings one in. Johnny Burnett seemed to maybe make a bit of a late shout, but got the call in the end. Newnham just stepping out of the way. It's tough as well for goalkeepers, in particular goalkeepers that come in as second half substitutes, less than half an hour for John Burner, into a game where not seeing a great deal of action. That concentration has just got to be so much 100%, because you've got to keep the mind active. That's one of the big strengths, is the mental side of it for a goalkeeper. And maybe they're not necessarily exerting themselves physically. Cronin. De Hoyer. Knight. Back to Cronin. Just a little check over his shoulder. Knows that he's got a bit of time. LaBroca. Into the last 3 minutes. Stick around on MLSsoccer.com. Another game coming your way. Sporting Kansas City against Real Salt Lake. That's 10 p.m. kickoff Eastern Time. Badji finds Torres. Checks back to Knight. Newnham. LaBroca to Cronin. Quite happy just to keep possession. Looking for their first shutout and first victory at the Desert Diamond Cup. Newnham. To the goal scorer, Axel Sjoberg. Back to Newnham. And the seconds tick by. Cronin. Badji. Didn't quite sit down for him. LaBroca. Badji calling for it on this near side. LaBroca finds Harrington.
Again, fans, we'd love
Newnham
to see you here this
to Wes
Saturday,
Knight.
February
So the next few days, Bobby, what's on the agenda for the players? What now happens between now and Saturday? Give fans an idea of as this pre-season begins to draw to a close.
Yeah, we always have our yearly meetings here, mostly in pre-season, and we've had some referee and competition meetings as well as some player union meetings. And, so those are all our obligations usually after training in the afternoons. We'll be back out here tomorrow training hard, and Friday as well for our last game Saturday.
And then heading back to Colorado on Sunday. A day off Monday and then back at it, training Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I believe travelling Friday
I think, to Philly.
Philly.
Heard we'd be getting some snow back there today.
Yeah, I've been told not to mention the weather.
Yeah, Tucson's been a great host for us. Fortunate to be down here last year as well. They do a great job with the facility here, the fields, and obviously the home team, FC Tucson, does a great job with their fans as well. So it's been a great spot for us for preseason.
Michael Kafari making way for Michele Pataya for the last few seconds of the game, literally the last 20 seconds or so. Wes Knight cuts that one out, finds Torres. He's going to try and find some space down this near side. Da Costa getting in his way. We're over the 90. And there goes the final whistle. Axel Sjoberg with the deciding goal here, separating these two sides, and so a win for the Rapids in their third game of the 2015 Desert Diamond Cup. Don't go too far on MLSsoccer.com. Sporting Kansas City and Real Salt Lake to come. It is finished here. Colorado Rapids 1, FC Tucson 0. My thanks to Bobby Byrne.
Have you got your phone on you? Mind ringing Andy and asking